Welcome to the ChatGPT podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Each episode, we dive into the latest developments in the exciting field of artificial intelligence, exploring its applications and potential impacts on our daily lives. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. We just launched our AI Creators Discord community. If you're looking for a really kind of hands-on and innovative place to talk to other people making amazing things in AI, you need to join this community. Obviously, it's a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share prompts and software and tools that we're using to create really interesting use cases. We'd love to have you join and become part of the community. If you don't use Discord, there's also always the Facebook group. I'll link both of those down in the description. Welcome to the podcast today. Today, I am actually in the San Francisco International Airport recording this, but an amazing news story just dropped and I had to take it to you. So I'll try to edit the recording around any loud PA announcements, but without further ado, let's jump into it. So today I want to talk about the fact that Databricks just purchased Mosaic LM, which is essentially an OpenAI competitor, for a eye-watering $1.3 billion. So I think what this really is speaking to at the moment is the fact that investors aren't the only ones who really want to get their hands on some of these really popular AI companies. There's going to be a lot of mergers and acquisitions that we see in the coming months and years, and this one by Databricks is one of the larger ones. I think what's really interesting is the fact that Mosaic LM is actually an open source startup with a neural network expertise, and they've built essentially a platform where organizations, corporations can go and train large language models and essentially deploy generative AI tools based on them. What I think is really incredible about this story and this company is the fact that Mosaic LM, previous to this, has only raised $64 million. They have some pretty notable investors. They got DCVC, AME Cloud Ventures, Lux Frontline, Atlas, Playground Global, and also Samsung Next. But I think what's really interesting is their last valuation round had them valued at $220 million. So this is an over 6x from this exit, which is a really massive price. I think that, on the one hand, that might say just how frothy the AI market is. But on the other hand, I think it also shows just how high the demand for some of this tech talent is in the AI space right now. And I also think that it's kind of relative when you say frothy markets right now, because as we know, OpenAI was actually just recently valued at over, $40 billion, and Microsoft made their large investment in it. So I think that this deal is going to essentially see Mosaic LM become part of Databricks' Lakehouse platform, and that's going to allow, generative AI tools alongside the Databricks existing kind of multi-cloud offering, which essentially would include integrations, storage, processing, governance, sharing, analytics, and kind of all AI-related services. Obviously, the world right now of AI is pretty buzzy because of OpenAI and specifically the potential where we see AI going into the future. I think it's important to remember that Microsoft and ChatGPT are obviously not building in a vacuum. They've dumped tons of money into this space. And I think that is actually propelling the space forward faster. And so we're going to start seeing a lot of these other companies pouring quite large sums of money in to compete, to catch up, and to fill this hole, because this isn't just something that is really popular for investors and whatnot. This is something that from the consumer side is very consumer driven from what I've seen. And, people are really itching to get their hands on the latest AI technology, and corporations are itching to, serve their customers the latest AI things. So I think this is going to be really, really interesting. Now, as far as what Mosaic LM has done, apparently their penultimate version of their LLM, which is the MPT-7B, they have over 3.3 million downloads. So this thing is fairly popular. I think one of the big differentiators between kind of Mosaic and what their approach is number one, they're open source, which I actually think is interesting that they were acquired. I know sometimes open source struggles with acquisitions and whatnot. And second, it's focused on essentially organizations that are building their own LLMs and that are based off of their own data. So Databricks said that its latest release, in quotes, they said, has showcased how organizations can quickly build and train their own state-of-the-art models using their data in a cost-effective way. I think it's important to note, as far as their customers go, some of those include the Allen Institute for AI, Generally Intelligent, Hippocratic AI, Replit, and Scatterlab. So they do have some big customers. They have some big backers. This is obviously a very serious company. Every organization, this is according to them, every organization should be able to benefit from the AI revolution with more control over how their data is used. Databricks and MosaicLM have an incredible opportunity to demonstrate AI and make the Lakehouse the best place to build generative AI and LLMs. That was Ali Ghodsi, who's essentially the Databricks co-founder and CEO. He also said, Databricks and MosaicLM's shared vision rooted in transparency and a history of open source contributions will deliver value to our customers as they navigate the biggest computing revolution of our time. I really think Databricks obviously is, a very successful company, and they see just the potential of grabbing one of these big players in the AI space, onboarding them. And I think this is something that's kind of a no-brainer, is when you see these kind of mergers and acquisitions where you can acquire technology that instantly is going to be helping your current customer base. It's a really no-brainer, and it's interesting to watch because a lot of times, the price they pay for these companies they acquire is actually less than they see their total, market cap of their stock bump post-acquisition. So I think that'll be an interesting thing to watch, the valuation of Databricks, how that is impacted by this acquisition. In addition, the CEO and co-founder, Naveen Rao, he's an Intel alumni. He is actually going to be staying on as part of the team after this merger. And he said, at MosaicLM, we believe in a world where everyone is empowered to build and train their own AI models imbued with their own opinions and viewpoints. And joining forces with Databricks will help us to make that belief a reality. He also said that we started MosaicLM to solve a hard engineering and research problem necessary to make large-scale training more accessible to everyone. With the recent generative AI wave, his mission has taken center stage. This mission has taken center stage. Together with Databricks, we will tip the scale in favor of many, and we will do it as kindred spirits, researchers turned entrepreneurs sharing a similar vision. We look forward to continuing this journey together with the AI community. So I think there's going to be likely many more mergers and acquisitions coming up in this space. Databricks is obviously making a really big play here, but I do think it's notable the fact that we have seen a couple of others. Snowflake recently acquired Neeva, which was a startup, which was quite popular, but essentially it was going to, the idea behind Neeva was that it was an AI model that was going to take on Google, a search engine that essentially integrated ChatGPT kind of technology. But I think when Google announced Bard, they realized their market share wasn't what they, hoped. And so they were actually acquired by Snowflake, and I believe they'll still build some powerful products around search, but it's not going to be so much the consumer-led search side that competes directly with Google. It may be more, search within databases and organizations and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be really interesting to continue and follow this entire industry, definitely this company, but also the entire industry, to see how these mergers and acquisitions play out within the AI space. So this is something I'll definitely keep you updated on. The innovation in AI right now is absolutely exploding. If you want to stay on top of all the insane disruptions and innovation that's happening right now, you need to subscribe to our newsletter on AIbox.ai. We send you daily everything that is happening, the news and the crazy advancements in AI technology straight to your inbox for free every single day. So go to AIbox.ai, subscribe, and stay ahead of the curve on the world of AI. You've been listening to the ChatGPT podcast. Make sure to rate us wherever you listen to your podcasts and have a fantastic week.